Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, boa noite, alegria. Doesn't really rhyme, but I mean it nonetheless. Hola. Well, let's go for an hola, bom dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, although it's good evening, I realise that. Although perhaps if you're in Hawaii, this is relevant and you're just enjoying the beginning of your New Year's Day. So thank you for being here. Good evening. Hola, bon dia, alegria. We're on time actually this morning. 7 o'clock I scheduled and 7 o'clock I started, albeit, what's that, about 11 hours later, 10 hours later than the reschedule. Then midday I said I would be here. And now finally we're here live at 7 o'clock in the evening on New Year's Day. So happy New Year to you. Feliz Ano Novo Buono to you here in Portugal. Oh, I was tinkering. I was behind the scenes with Astrid, and that's why I've got the Expats Portugal title beneath me there. Let me just put that right for this particular incarnation here, the Portugal Club. And it's a good way of actually introducing you to some of the changes. Yeah, ordinarily I would say hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson with the Good Morning Portugal show live stream and podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where there have been some changes. If you remember, pop over there and say hi over there and check out the new changes. The new orientation is 50 plus life here in Portugal. Oh, and look, one of the great benefits of being on at this time in the evening here in Portugal is that we can say hi to Eileen. Happy New Year from Florida. Hello to you. And Feliz Ano Novo to you, Eileen. Great to see you here on the show this evening. And we will go through the earlier comments from this morning. I am so sorry to you, Sarah, Mike, Jim, Adrian, Mel, and Kate, T-Duck, the coach Turner, and Sarah, I think, as well, who all hung out this morning and were wishing each other a happy new year. So not all was lost. They were able to chat with each other. Jackie, Welsh Jackie, was there as well. And Pete, good morning to you all. Sorry for not being here this morning. None of this is true, folks. I didn't get bladdered last night. Quite on the contrary, started the new year in quite an awkward way, actually. The personal healing continues, all sorts of stuff coming up, which you see, if you have a hangover, it's like, oh yeah, typical, or that's what you'd expect on New Year's Day. But if you've been processing, if you've been doing some healing work, then it's like, oh, what a hippie. But maybe that in years to come, our lovely young millennials will, instead of saying, oh, sorry I'm late, I've got a terrible hangover, they might say, man, I've been through some. Or they won't say man, will they? They'll say something less gender specific, or human, they might say. Gosh, I'm exhausted. I've been doing some processing last night or this morning. That's why I'm late. And that's why I'm emotionally drained and exhausted. But I am contributing to the evolution of humanity, which is more than you can say when you've got a hangover. So good morning. Let's pretend it's the morning. And bon dia to you, Feliz Ano Novo. I'm gonna take your Happy New Year greetings, and we're gonna hang out for about an hour this evening. And I'm going to have a little drink of the Good Morning Portugal wine of the week as well. This has been brilliant. This is what I've chosen to give to neighbours here on the street as well. The Portuguese red, the Douro red, the Altano, which is made by the Symington's family up there in the Douro region, and it's organic as well. So I'll have a little sip and a toast with you a little bit later on. But let's say those belated hellos, thanks, and greetings this morning. And if this evening you want to send a greeting to a friend or family via the Good Evening Portugal show, as it turns out, please do. As it says on the screen there, please send your New Year's Day messages to family and friends around the world right here, and I will gladly voice those for you so that they can be clipped, or you can send people the link and they can get a greeting via the Good Morning Portugal show, as it turns out, in the evening. These blimmin' the way they're doing these new banners is you can put a timer on it, and I don't want to. I want to leave this one on for the whole show. So there you go, timer off. And that invitation there stands. Please send your New Year's Day messages to family and friends around the world right here. And when I get a message like that, as soon as I've started the show, I'm thinking, that might be T-Duck telling me I'm on the wrong microphone or camera or something like that. Anyway, let's go back to those greetings from this morning, the somewhat delayed service of issuing the Happy New Year greetings here, which would have been the Good Morning Portugal show this morning. Bom dia, Gumpers, and a Happy New Year from the Bartons there. Jim was in this morning as well. Bom dia a todos, feliz ano novo. Estamos muito gratos pelo seu trabalho. Obrigado por tudo e que faz. Thank you very much, Jim. And I hope you received and caught my thanks in the video I made, thanking all the people who contribute in their various ways to the Good Morning Portugal endeavor. Mel, Feliz Ano Novo. Adrian, I'm really not sure what's going on with these lengthy messages. I wonder if you could give us a little summary about that which you are posting in the comments. I'm sure it's very relevant to the time of year and will furnish our religious understanding and spiritual understanding. But I wonder if you could be a little bit more succinct and maybe give us a highlight and the gist of that which you are sharing. That banner's gone again, hasn't it? The timer is off. There you go. It's back on the screen now. I think maybe it'll be hidden by the continued display of your comments from this morning. Kate was here. Thank you, Kate. And when we go over to the Portugal Club, I'll show you Kate's new thread of marvelous, mirthful memes, which is the new feature over one of the new features, as well as the new orientation over there at the Portugal Club. The By Grave bonus. And she's there again this morning, or she was there again this morning, and I'll share that with you tonight. Feliz Ano Novo, you said this morning, Kate, desejo paz, sending peace, health and joy. Paz, saúde e alegria para 2026 e os anos seguintes, the following years, and on 2026 and thereafter. Bom ano, fulano, Gumpers. I think that's a little bit of a cheeky greeting, is it not, T-Duck? Meaning you so-and-so or you rascal, or I think it is. I think it's bon ano fulano is a nice cheeky little greeting, should you want to share that with anyone that you know. Okay. We had, as well as Kate and T-Duck there, did I just see the Feast of the Circumcision? No way. Okay, on this day in 1986, Portugal officially, what did I just say, pish? On this day in 86, Portugal officially joined. Okay, maybe I truncated Portugal officially there. Joined the European Economic Community 1986. How's it going, Portugal? In 1707, King John V, João V, ascended to the throne of Portugal and the Algarves following the death of his father, Pedro II. Known as the Magnanimous. What a nice way to be remembered. Is Goddo about? Seems we're waiting again. Ooh. Hopefully, from here on in, and we will be on tomorrow, 2nd of January. I am making adjustments such that we will start on time and it will be 8 o'clock tomorrow. God willing. Did anyone call Carl to make sure he's awake? And I think at that point, T-Duck did and woke me up. I was still asleep, quite honestly. While all of you are here sharing these greetings, I was quite honestly asleep. I wasn't hungover. I was just asleep. When I got back from the San Martino de Porto fireworks, which you can see behind me here, and I'll have a video of those as well to show you out. We've got a minute of the 12 or 13 minutes of video. It was extraordinary in San Martino de Porto last night. Nearly 13 minutes of fireworks. They went on and on and on. And that was also, as well, other people's own DIY fireworks that were being lit along the beach before and after. There were a lot of fireworks in San Martino de Porto last evening. And I've got a minute of them to see you on your way this evening as well. They're really good. And it was lovely to sit on the beach with the sea lapping against the shore, only about, 10 feet away from us, and to have this incredible bonfire celebration to see the new year in, and the laser projection onto the cliffs over to the right-hand side above the key as well. You'll see all of that, 1 minute 20 highlight of that as I pipe you off the good ship, Good Morning Portugal, a little bit later on around 8 o'clock this evening. Between now and then, though, your greetings, if you want to send best wishes, best New Year wishes to anybody, just please do so in the chat. You can join me on the screen if you'd prefer to do that as well. I can put the link into the comments if anyone would like to join me and pop onto the show, say hi, and send your greetings yourself to friends, family, and loved ones around the world as well. So fireworks to come, and the new orientation of the Portugal club, which I am delighted to be sharing with you a little bit later on, as well as the thing you might have done from time to time. Funny enough, I think that's how. Wasn't that how Ken Bruce got his job? Didn't Ken Bruce stand in for either Terry Wogan or somebody who couldn't get there on time and was so good they gave him a job? I think that's the story behind the Ken Bruce on BBC Radio 2 in the UK. That's how he got started. Wogan, I think, was late from time to time, was he not? Or he had to continue because of Ken Bruce. Well, it does happen. It does happen. But I'm glad to be in that company. And to be, put in the same category as the great Wogan, my broadcasting hero. Yes. So, yeah, Mike, I did get a call. I did get an alarm call. Thank you, T-Duck, at about 9:20. Didn't realise it was an anniversary year for Portugal. Yes. 1707 and 1986 as well. That's because St. Terry had Janet and John. Yeah, and a production team, quite frankly. I mean, we do have the same kind of filthy sense of humour that made Janet and John so popular here. I think Carl may have hit the snooze. According to his WhatsApp, he was up much later than I was. Oh, my goodness. You can check where people are at with their WhatsApp, of course. Jackie, good evening to you, and belated good morning to you. Bon dia, Gumpers, and a happy new year. In Portugal, he's not actually late until 20 minutes after. And that's presumably why you called me 20 minutes after the start of showtime. And Peter, commenting on my voluminous face and forehead. It's not easy when you have so much face to wash. Frankly, Peter, it shouldn't take 20 minutes or more, though, should it? From Carl, the show has been postponed until midday. Yes, and then some, as it turns out. Wow, must have been a wild party in San Martino. Thanks for the update, Tita. I'm so sorry, everybody. Party like a Martino. We watched the fireworks and we came home. But big night for Carl. Have a good day, everyone. Yeah, sorry I wasn't there. And I'm glad you all had a chance to wish each other Happy New Year nonetheless. Won't be with you at midday, but Happy New Year, everyone. Maybe you could be with us tonight, though, Coach. It seems calories in have exceeded calories out. Well, that's just one of the features of Christmas. Although there will be the rare exceptions that prove the rule, of course. Then there will have been some people who've made a point of losing weight at Christmas. I wonder if you are among them. Yeah, ciao. Sorry, Sarah. Goodbye to you as well. Have you come back this evening, I wonder? And Donna, as well as Eileen here from Happy New Year from sunny Florida. Great to have you both here. Happy New Year from Michael Bliss. Michael Bliss Music, might be Cheryl. And lovely to see that you've been in concert in the festive period as well. Any chance of a clip? If you send me a clip, Michael, that you're happy for me to play this evening, I would be so delighted to do so. You are so talented. I didn't realize you played the trumpet as well, as sang so beautifully. So if there's a clip you want to send me on 913-590-303, I would be delighted to play it. Aviva, lovely to see you as well. Thank you for your message. And right back at you, igualmente. And I think if you want to advertise the new service that's coming up that you're involved in, please feel free to do so as well. Bon Novo to you. Deeply 83, Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you very much for your greeting to me. Gemini, Happy New Year, everyone. The fireworks are continuing, aren't they, in our hearts for sure. Hello, good evening to you. I think we should say prayers for a Happy New Year, whether it is us really happy, whether it is really happy is what we will find out at the end. Absolutely, as with each year. I'm gonna go with Abu, if I may, for the time being, unless and until you correct me. Now, StreamYard, and your comments are going on the screen now, everybody. StreamYard seems to be connecting with YouTube in such a way that it's not your normal on-screen name, different on Facebook, of course, as we can see from Gina here, but it goes with your handle, your kind of registration handle, rather than your nickname that you would have on YouTube until they sort that out. Well, hello and happy New Year to you and yours. Igualmente, Gina, good to see you here this evening. You are featured. Your very kind words are still featured as a podcast, a mini podcast on my website, carlmunson.com. If you choose to go there, you'll see yourself there. Pera, good evening to you. Feliz Ano Novo. Blessing news. Dawg, Gymru Fach. And the same to you. Feliz Ano Novo. Blessing Nid da Gymru. I think I kind of got there. Wow, that was a long face wash. Yes, 10 hours of face washing. I'm surprised I've got any left, Peter. Happy New Year, Munson and family. And Gumpers, I'm going to go with there. Rowan, good evening to you. How lovely to see you here this evening. Good evening to you. Happy New Year to you. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. And I would have accepted Ken Bruce. Okay, all right. Fair enough, Kate. We're going to go look at your meme thread in just a moment. Hello. Well, now you prove that you're indeed living in a new timeline. Yeah, it was right, wasn't it, when I said yesterday, see you next year? Here we are, the 1st of January. How's it going, everyone, so far with your new year? Any updates, anything to report? We're going to go over to the Portugal Club now to take a look at the new reorientation. And actually, let me begin by sharing with you the changes as a little, by way of a little bit of a clue to what's going on over there. I have made the following changes. Now, I've wanted the Portugal Club to be taking care of all aspects of our lives here in Portugal. And, you know, we've tinkered and experimented with different formats and approaches and orientations. And the categories so far over at the Portugal Club, when you're posting, you get to choose the category, have been language and culture. We're going to stay with that, of course, as well as news and introductions for the new year. Real estate and housing, folks, has been replaced by health and well-being this year. Places and spaces has been replaced by wealth and enterprise. We're going to stick with Portuguese bureaucracy and admin. That seems a very important thing for your health and well-being here in Portugal, for your life here in Portugal. Meet the community has been replaced with relationships and love as a category. Fun, humor, and memes is simply memes and humor now. Kate leading the way there. And lots of the things that T-Duck sends me end up over there as well. Food, wine, and good times, that's got to stay. That's a great category to have here in Portugal. Development and growth has been changed to personal. Actually, that's development and legacy now, I think you'll see over there. I didn't change that in the notes I'm looking at. And finally, quizzes and questions, which of course includes the Portugal Club Citizenship Test questions. Thanks, mate. Happy New Year to you and the family as well. Cheers, Rowan. Lovely to see you here. And lovely to see both of you on the screen. What a lovely picture. Right. And if you want to send any other messages to our friends at Hannah's via this medium, please do so. Feel free, Rowan, to say hello, to say bonne nuit, Happy New Year to a few of the old crew as well. Or even invite them over. And why not drop them a line, tell them you're tuned in over here and to join us on the screen this evening. Right, let's go to the Portugal Club then, and maybe we should get the Portuguese citizenship test question out of the way, just in case we forget that. There you go, sharing on the screen now. There we go, it's on the screen for you. And if I scroll down to Portuguese citizenship test question 86, wow, that's cool. 5 people have voted already. I only posted that up an hour ago. A lot later than usual. Virginia, good evening to you. Also to Kate, a different Kate, not Kate by a grave. 2 Kates have voted. Didn't even, haven't seen you there for a while, Kate P as well. And we've also got Michael and Kat, who you may well see on Monday evening on the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. Wine Club Ninjas, what are we doing on Monday? We need a memo on that. And Debbie Bradford have all voted a San Miguel. That's the answer, they think. So what's the question? I'm going to join them actually in just a moment because I know what the question is. Which Portuguese island is known for its volcanic landscapes and hot springs? I think they're all right. I think San Miguel is the right answer for that. You could be for thinking it was Madeira. It is a volcanic island, I believe, and Faial as well, also part of the Açores. But I think the one that really takes the crown there for the hot springs and the volcanic landscapes would be of the archipelago of the Açores, San Miguel. Open to challenge on that, however. So there you go. I'll put the link to that into the chat as well, so that you've got that and you can make your guess. Nice show of Portugal clubbers over there this evening. Thank you very much for joining us there. That is the link if you want to join them. Getting better. Newsflash. your Portuguese is much better than your Camarade. Is that right? Camarade? These days. So my Portuguese is better than my Welsh. I think it probably always was, to be fair. Christmas update. Two of our best friends have split up over Christmas. It happens, doesn't it? A lot of pressure on couples and families. Love and romance will be an eclectic observation. Think they are in for quite a year. Wow, interesting. Lots of love to those people, and hopefully they can resolve their situations in a way that works best for all, and they get some sort of win-win. And if there are any kids involved, it all works out for the best and most healthy and functional resolution for all concerned there, Pete. Send them, if I know them, please do send them my best regards. And don't forget, you can send messages here. I mean, probably it's best to stay on the positive. If you've got an ongoing grief or beef with somebody, probably they're not the best sort of messages we'll be sharing this evening on the Good Evening Portugal show, as it turns out. But very sorry to hear of the pressure building so much and that Christmas becomes a time when a couple splits up. Very sad to hear that. Although, of course, you know, it may ultimately be for the best. Who knows? I hope they can settle their differences positively and healthily. Right, back to the Portugal Club then. That was Portuguese Citizenship Test 86. And actually, that is something we will concern ourselves with. Look, the new orientation for the Portugal Club for 2026 is 50 plus life in Portugal. I'm just going to signal to you that I'll take a different kind of orientation and evolve and change this as the years have gone by since we started Good Morning Portugal back in 2020, and it's changed. And the focus was very much on keeping everybody connected and supported and informed back in 2020. Excuse me a minute, I just need a cough. Doing a lot of talking this evening, and surrounded with thousands of people last night from whom I may have picked up some sort of throaty thing. I'm not that I was snogging anybody, but you know, it may have been in the air last night, although it was beautiful. Lots of fresh air on well, I say there was lots of fresh air. It was filled with smoke as well, because on account of so many blimmin' fireworks. But anyway, don't mean to complain. And where was I? Oh yeah, orientation of Good Morning Portugal and the Portugal Club. And then we really got into helping people move to Portugal with the bureaucracy, with the immigration processes. And I continue to do that work with Expats Portugal. But on a personal and professional basis, in my own right, I'm going to be moving away from the immigration. You know, you can still get help when there are lots of resources here at the Portugal Club. But the big focus is going to be on 50 plus life, aging here in Portugal. Now, I don't mean to have made that so kind of synonymous. We're all aging, and it would appear that, you know, when you get to 50, 60, the whole idea of aging takes on a slightly different, what would you call it? Emphasis. Let's call it an emphasis for now. And I think this is a really good angle to be in Portugal, looking through the lens of 50 plus life, of aging, and getting the most out of life, making the most of life, looking after your health, looking after your body, and enjoying Portugal as somebody who is in, you might say, the second half. You might be in your, what you're calling your third act, or the last lap, or whatever you call it. Hopefully not your dotage, but you know, that word comes up as well, doesn't it? You know, we can, I think, usefully serve the demographic, and we have in many ways actually, of 50 plus life here in Portugal. So that's the emphasis. The Portugal Club will be focusing on from the point of view, from the perspective of being 50 plus and enjoying aging here in Portugal, and all that means, you know, when it comes to health, wealth, and well-being, health, fitness, all of these sorts of things, love and relationships. And that's why I've changed the categories a little bit to reflect that. So I hope you'll find that useful and will want to contribute on that basis. And for the first contribution on that basis from me is a feature on thermals. Now, people of all ages can enjoy thermals, but at this time of year, I think it's the older folks who might benefit most from taking refuge from the blooming damp of Portugal that we can experience at this time of year by selecting thermals that were mentioned by Matty. Now, also, I have to say at this point, if you are under 50, you probably shouldn't be listening anymore. And we might need to see a note from your parents. If you are continuing to watch Good Morning Portugal, listen to the podcast, or are a member of the Portugal Club and you're under 50, Rowan Ford, for example, as far as I remember, he's under 50. You're still under 50, aren't you, Rowan? It hasn't been that long since we saw each other. Yeah, if you're under 50, you might need a parent's note to be able to join us here on the show, certainly to join the Portugal Club if you're under that age bracket. But that's what we're doing. We're serving the needs of people 50 plus. And, oh, is it morning already? No, it's not, Coach. You see, here's a great example of how we serve the 50 plus community. Coach Turner's God Squad, Growing Old Disgracefully program is a 50 plus fitness program, which you can take advantage of at the Portugal Club. And we'll be enjoying more of this sort of orientation for people who are knocking on a bit, getting on a bit. One classification is if your knees are noisier than the music when you take to the dance floor. That's the sort of age group we're talking about here at the Portugal Club now. So there you go. There's the new orientation. Who doesn't like a new orientation first thing in the morning? Let's go to Kate's meme of today. She's got her own thread, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. But very thoughtfully posted up, Happy New Year, everybody. Brian Blessed. Do you know this man if you are not British? He is a British icon from the acting world and the celebrity world, really. And I took advantage. Thank you very much for wishing us a blessed year, a Brian of a year, you might say. I've taken advantage there of adding a few more memes as well that came to my attention. This is the Portuguese kids, a New Year's resolution-based meme. Going to stick to this diet no matter what. Also me hiding chorizo inside. It must be a Madeiran banana, right? But what a great hack right there. I'm going to eat a banana, even if it is filled with chorizo. Thank you to the Portuguese kids for that one. Here, while I take a little sip of tea and breathe out for a moment. How about we take a look this evening? I nearly said this morning. How about if my body thinks it's the morning? I mean, being sat in this chair, it's accustomed to it being not 7 o'clock in the evening, not even 7 o'clock in the morning, to be fair, but about 8 or 5 past in the morning. So forgive me if I do say good morning to you, but here this evening, how about we look at this legato list by way of a gentle entry into 2026, 2026, from Jen Shoop, things that are best done slowly. How about morning coffee? Oh, yes, fair enough. Sit in the early morning sun, even if it is winter. If it's a sunny day in Portugal, it's beautiful to be outside where the hot sun warming your bones, even if the air's cold, sipping on a morning coffee slowly. Cursive. Who hand wrote anything in the last 5 years? Do any of you still use handwriting? Can any of you still write? Or is everything done on blimmin' phones and keyboards these days? Exhaling as well. Things that are best done slowly. How about an exhale? Please enjoy these at home right now. There's no point reading these things and thinking, wow, what a great idea that is, if you're not going to do it. Enjoy it now if you possibly can. And many of these things you can enjoy right now as I mentioned them. And the last one's great as well. Exhaling and breathing in general, says, is it Jen here? Yeah, Jen Shoop. Becoming an expert in yourself. That can only be done slowly, can't it? And might be connected with kissing as well. Kissing is best done slowly, isn't it? Or these fast pecks on the cheek or quick kisses aren't as good as the slow ones, are they? Shampooing your hair. For some of us, that's inevitably a fast thing and cannot be done slowly anymore. But I get the point, Jen. Stop rushing. A hot shower is a true joy. And maybe shampooing your whole body in that case, if there's not too much up top. If you're a bit of a bungalow when it comes to the hair department, how about lathering your whole body? Stop it. Reading poetry as per Billy Collins. Isn't this beautiful? Take a poem and hold it up to the light like a color slide. Now, one of the reasons why this is a 50 plus community is because only people over 50 will know what on earth a color slide is. People like Rowan won't know what a color slide is. aka a transparency. Back in the day, we used to have things called slides, which you could project onto the wall. Now, not so much, but can you imagine if you are aware of what a transparency or a slide is? Can you imagine the metaphor of having a poem and looking into a poem like you're holding it up to the light to see all that it has to offer you? How lovely is that? That's Billy Collins apparently saying, take a poem and hold it up to the light like a color slide. Oh. Writing in Sharpie. Yeah, fair enough. But how about with a pencil, an old fashioned pencil that you sharpen yourself also slowly with a blade rather than a pencil sharpener? You know, like you used to do it in art class, or some of us anyway, would say, sir, can I sharpen my pencil, please? And it's take ages doing it rather than doing any work. Responding when angry. We all know, ideally, this is something that's best done slowly, responding when angry. Walking in the dark. Literally and figuratively, i.e., take your time figuring out new things. Okay, so again, a metaphor as well as an actual thing. Many people have given themselves a black eye or a stub toe by walking too fast in the dark. It is a useful metaphor, isn't it? When fumbling around in life's darkness, also go slow, homie. Forming judgments, yeah, that's probably a thing done best slowly, isn't it? But then when you hold on to them like hell. No, only kidding. She doesn't say that. Melting butter. And it's the same, isn't it? Like with cooking garlic. These things have to be done slowly, or you will burn certain things if you do it quickly. Winding down before bed. You can't park a car going at 80 miles an hour. I think Pete can. I think Pete does do that. I've heard about this. But most people can't park a car at 80 miles per hour. Risotto. Yeah, risotto. You've got to cook that slowly as well, haven't you? Otherwise, you're going to burn the rice or burn the butter or whatever it is you use in your recipe. Yep, good. Live life like it's a risotto. And look, finally, aging. What a gift. Do this slowly. Now, sometimes you have no choice, but isn't that a nice little resonance with what we're talking about? Our 50 plus community, which is the Portugal Club. Take it slowly. What's the hurry, Murray? You know what? It's like it's so contradictory, isn't it, to age quickly? You know, to realize that there might be a finish line and race towards it. Ease up, take it easy, stop and smell the flowers and the coffee and the slowly melting butter as you hold the poem up to the light as though it were a color slide. That's lovely. I can't remember where it came from. Was that you? Possibly, Kate, with your memes. Did you share that before? But I swiped it and put it on my WhatsApp and only just found it this afternoon while I was tinkering about with all the things I've squirreled away on my own WhatsApp's messages to myself. But I think that's beautiful. That's the legato list, things that are best done slowly. And that is over at the Portugal Club under Kate's posting of today. And how about this that came from a friend on Facebook? There is this thing, isn't it? And it is probably a 50 minus or an under 50 thing. You know, crush the new year. I will take it, slay it, take it by the horns. But excuse me, says, who is this? Actually, who is this cartoon character here? Excuse me, but I will not slay or crush or take the new year by the horns. I will welcome her in and offer her tea. Isn't that lovely? Come on in, 2026. We are kind of pleased to see you. And can we offer you a cup of tea to welcome your arrival, as well as Brian Blessed bellowing in your ear. Right, and an alternative, whilst I was about it, it was because of this picture here, the chorizo. And it occurred to me because yesterday, with friends Miguel and Vanessa, who were in town yesterday, we had caldo verde soup for lunch. Just thought that would be nice. Don't want too much, and we needed something quite quick. So 3 bowls of caldo verde soup, one of Portugal's great national cultural dishes. And I think I counted 2 slices of chorizo in mine. And I was minded to look it up. You know, is there a kind of folklore, cultural thing on how many slices of caldo verde how many slices of chorizo you should have in your caldo verde soup? And it is actually 1. Sometimes when Portuguese people are really pushing the boat out, or if it's your grandma who wants to build you up, presumably she's Portuguese, she's going to give you maybe 3. But, you know, if I was entertaining and I was making caldo verde soup, I'd be giving people 5, 6, 7 slices of chorizo. And they're going to be, 3 or 4 centimeters thick. It's going to be a generous slice. But no, it should only be 1 to give it a little bit of flavor. And the predominant ingredients are going to be the potato base and the little strands of cabbage. So the answer to what is the right amount, the appropriate amount of chorizo in a caldo verde, I think is 1, possibly 2, maximum 3 slices. So don't feel shortchanged. If you're the sort of person who kicks off in a restaurant because you're thinking to yourself, hold on a minute, gosh, that gave me a shock. Expats Portugal weekly webinar. There isn't one, in case you were wondering. It's the 1st of January. There isn't one. We'll be back with Gilda next week, next Thursday. We've got a visa special and IMA update at 7:30 next Thursday. Right, but yeah, if you're out and about and you're having the sopa de dia and it's caldo verde, do not feel shortchanged if you only get 1 little slice of chorizo. It's in there for the flavor. It's almost symbolic rather than part of the recipe that you would have many slices of chorizo there. So don't feel shortchanged should that happen to you. We've done the Portuguese citizenship test question. We're up to 86. And as I suggested to you, as I mentioned to you, the Bygrave bonus is born. Mirthful memory and daily fun. When I say daily, actually that asterisk is on the wrong place. It should be at daily. When the sun starts shining earlier in the day and the weather warms up, we might not see so much of Kate Bygrave here, but for the time being, look at all of her lovely memes here that she is sharing with us. She's an absolute ledge. Please do and know what. What are the memory jokes about my breasts? Is it best to move on at that point? But anyway, if you'd like to look at her memes, they are proudly on display as a collection. I put them all together earlier this afternoon, and you can see them there. They are fantastic. They really are. So thanks, Kate. I left out some of the Christmas ones because they were very seasonal and not as evergreen as some of the others here. But thank you for all the laughs in these last 2 or 3 weeks, and probably the least said, the soonest mended. About the boobies there. The next weekly storm this is something else I've posted up today in connection with, and finally, I think this we'll come back to some. Actually, let's do a few more of your comments now. Not much longer to go on the show this evening. Every morning is a bonus. That's one way of looking at it. Thank you. Very true, Peter. It's like Pete and Dad, isn't it? Oh, mate, every morning's a bonus, ain't it, when you get to our age? Yes, very true, Peter. Brian Blessed is just awesome, says Pete. He has over 400 animals. It feels like that here as well, actually. He has over 400 animals at home. We're not talking about fleas either, I don't suppose, are we? He is also on the list to go to Mars. Happy New Year, Ian, mate. Right. How do you know this about Brian Blessed? Have you been to his menagerie? And are you a fellow would-be Martian, Peter? I've got you down as somebody you might have their name down, maybe you've qualified as well as a Tesla driver and Tesla satellite dish owner. You might get a special discount on the Mars trips when they become available. I know you like to travel as well. That'd be quite a place to add to the list, would it not? And Brian is a sprightly 89. Can he still bellow like that at 89? It probably takes it out of him. If he gives you one of those, good morning, he probably has to have a lie down for half an hour afterwards. He probably has to pace himself with the bellowing. But anyway, I do all my written Portuguese lessons in handwriting. That's a great idea. I think it does help, doesn't it, with this kind of embedding into and the laying down of the mental software programming that you're doing for yourself linguistically there. That's a great idea. And was that after a period of not writing very much by hand, Kate? And how have you found it? Have you got back into it easily enough? Has your writing changed since you've started again? I think it gets me used to correct spelling. Well done on that. And that's a great tip, actually. It's a good hack, isn't it? Forget they have security tags on the butter in the UK. Suppose it's cheaper to churn your own from cream. How much is a pound of butter then over there in the UK at the moment? Thank you, Pete. Same to you and yours. 3 peas in a pod. Simon's here as well. Good to see you here this evening. Didn't see you come in. If there are comments I've missed, do repost them and I'll make sure they get read. Viva la vie. Well done, Simon. What doesn't break us makes us stronger. My goodness, doesn't it just? Is that another aphorism we're taking into older age with us? And a happy new year to you all. Very best wishes from Hugh and Jane. Hugh is a remarkable role model for somebody in their somewhat slightly more senior years, recovering brilliantly from hip surgery Well done on that, Hugh. Great to see you making marmalade. Lovely pictures. Any other pictures you want to send in of that kind, actually? 913-590-303 before we go this evening. Before we do our thermals, in the spirit of a 50-plus community, we are about to talk about thermal underwear, everybody. And Sarah, thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. I mean, oversleeping, I think probably only once in the year, if not ever, isn't such a bad hit rate, is it? So thank you very much for coming back, Sarah. Sorry about this morning. Right, back to the Portugal club then, and talk of thermals over there, because of course the New Year's Day was a moment here in Portugal where we welcomed Storm Francis. Now, I saw this over at the Portugal News recently, and they were talking about this news. The weather on the first day of the year will be affected by the Francis depression. What a joy. First day of the year, and it's the Francis depression, very frank, which will cause heavy rain, wind, and strong waves in mainland Portugal. Strong waves in the mainland? I see, as opposed to the islands, and with greater intensity in Madeira, according to meteorologist Maria João Frada. There have been significant changes compared to the previous IPMA forecast, which did not predict precipitation rain. The precipitation situation, that's got a nice ring to it, has considerably changed compared to about 2 days ago. So due to the passage of the Francis depression, we'll be glad to see the back of your passage, Francis. We will have although that's maybe where the wind is coming from at the moment. The meteorologist from the Portuguese Institute of the Sea and Atmosphere, IPMA, told Lusa. Okay, so I mean, basically, we've got the gist of it. And as soon as I heard that, I put a little snippy comment on the Facebook page of the Portugal News. It's like, oh, so our weekly storm is... And it's Francis on this occasion. So there you go. If you're feeling a little bit wet, damp, and blown about, it may well be Francis, or the depression, what's called Depression Francis, which got me thinking about, instead of moaning about it, taking some positive action. Oh, yeah, by the way, there you go. That's the news story there. And if you go to the Portugal Club, you can click through to it. And were we not talking about thermals just recently, I think Matty brought up the subject of Decathlon's thermals. So by way of public service, I thought I'd have a little look at these. I mean, not just the pictures. I mean, when I say have a look into someone's thermals, I don't mean literally. I mean, are they available? Are they good? And I found a great video, actually, a bloke talking about, he's backcountry.
Let's have a look at the long sleeve base layer. Now, the closest thing that I had to compare to this is my merino wool long sleeve base layer from Merino Tech. The Decathlon Weds shirt, which is a long sleeve base layer, the BL100, is a
it is his music.
Stretchy polyester with a very soft brush lining for warmth, moisture wicking, and minimal drying.
Moisture wicking, minimal drying, and a breathable crutch, I think he went on to say a little bit later on in his review. He talks about chafing. So trigger alert, he does talk about chafing in his review of Decathlon's thermals. But the big news is, here in Portugal, and I kid you not, I think this is a great tip. Thank you very much, Matty, for your thermal tip. Oh, God. Thank you very much for your advice about thermal underwear, Matty. Apparently, these are €6.90, and if you take out a payment plan, you can pay €2.30 for 3 months instead. Apparently, according to the website, and they've got long sleeve vests and they've got leggings also at €6.90. Now, that is going to be a whole lot cheaper than paying for electricity or gas in this country and many other countries. So well done, Decathlon. And if anyone does go, I'm going to go and get some. I'm not sure if I'm going to go as far as to do an actual review, but how about that? His long sleeve thermals and long johns as well. The pair of long johns, the only pair of long johns that I have got, I've had for about 30 years, I think. A good 20 years for sure. 25 years, I think. They've got a hole in the knee, and they're from Marks and Spencer's, and I think that's why they've lasted so long. But clearly, I need to invest in some new ones. And I would say, may I commend to you and to the house that Decathlon is the place to go. So there you go. Oh, and there's IPMA. Should we have a little look at the IPMA weather forecast and see what the weather is going to be like in this first week of January here. I think that's a good idea to do. But yeah, well done, Decathlon. Thank you to Matty for your tip on that. And yeah, over at IPMA now, I think we're still under yellow alert for the Faro district, for the Algarve, and that goes on until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But actually, it is a yellow warning, and I think it's among the mildest of the yellow warnings. If we look at the weather currently, it's not so bad. I think it's fairly mild because of the rain. It often gets a bit milder, doesn't it, when it's raining? Not too shabby. Temperature's pretty good, really, around the country, but we could do with a little bit less rain. I think we've had enough now, haven't we? Well, actually, I was going to say for the year. We've started the year with rain. Let's hope we don't get too much of it, and that we can look forward to brighter, certainly longer days now after the solstice, and that the temperatures will begin to warm up. So we will be keeping an eye on the weather a little more closely as it shows signs of improving, and not just days and days of wind and rain, as it seems that we've had in the last couple of months. Bivalves, Central Portugal, stay off the oysters, it would appear. I love the bivalve forecast at IPMA, I really do. And I'm going to give you the link to that in the chat now. Sorry, I was looking at that, you weren't. But if you want to go see the weather forecast and some of the best forecasting that is available to us in this country, check out the IPMA website there. Thank you very much for your comments here about Long Johns. We'll finish with fireworks this evening. Brian still tours, and the last show we saw, he overran really at 89 years of age, or in his late 80s. By 2 hours, just being an amazing human being. He is so full of energy and tall tales. Isn't he a fantastic role model, Pete, for aging, someone we can really look up to? And also, we will be finding people in our own community with similar levels of energy and tales and anecdotes and great legacies that they'll be leaving. We'll be talking to them. We'll have a Portuguese Positive Echo every other Wednesday evening. I do that show, and I did 21 podcasts with Gary Coulton last year, the Positive Echo coming out of the UK, but we're going to do a Portuguese version of that. So if you know anybody, actually, if you know of the Portuguese Brian Blessed in our community, characters, people with great stories to tell, I'm told I've got a real handful of an interview for the Portugal resident come next week. A chap who is quite a character in the Algarve, who used to be, I think he was a Dutch radio DJ, and I've had a little bit of a forewarning that he might be a bit of a handful. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to meet these characters, and if you know of some who might be prepared, either on air live, some people might prefer to be interviewed off air and in person. I'm open to it. Let me know. Drop me a line, and let's make sure we speak to people who can inspire us. For two reasons. One, because of the way the world is at the moment, and I think we need inspirational, uplifting, positive content to remind us that life is good, and there are some amazing people around who are a great example to us, who we can emulate and be inspired by, and as great avatars and legends and heroes within our own 50+ community, such as it is now. So do let me know if you know somebody who fits the bill. Wear long johns from November the 1st till the end of March. That is a really good idea. Do you know what? I'm going to do a screenshot of that, and I'm going to put it in the Portugal Club calendar as a quote from you there, Hugh, to put on long johns. So we'll diarise that 1st of November, 30 days of September, April, and the 31st of March or the 1st of April. Get your long johns off. Oh, and some great photos from Hugh. We'll have a look at some of those in just a moment. We will finish with the fireworks. So good advice there, and we'll pop that in a diary. Happy New Year. Thank you very much, Hugh. And who wants to see? Oh no, who wants to see Hugh's hip scar? Now, which point of entry is that? Hugh? Oh my God! I don't know if we can show. I'm happy to show your Christmas pudding, not a euphemism. I'm not so sure about your hip operation scar. When I say scar, I mean flap. I mean doorway, basically, into your bones, basically. Oh, nice olive oil analysis as well. How does that work, Hugh? acid level 0.3. Is that what are we looking for? Oh, and you're smoking your fish as well. Should we get that saved and shared as well? I think we will. WhatsApp, not as intuitive as it once was, perhaps, but I wouldn't mind showing a picky of your smoked salmon here, which looks fantastic. Lovely picture there. Pictures there of you. Oh, that's a video of your olive oil analysis. And there you are, decanting your olive oil. What is that big machine there, Hugh, that you've got? Someone standing dangerously on a tree. I will download some of these. I'm just going through these live now. A dog doing a poo on the hillside, and you backing up into a flaming, a flaming bonfire. Hugh, you're crazy. Presumably that wasn't this afternoon. Tell me that wasn't this afternoon. I'm going to go with highlights of Hugh reversing a tractor trailer into a flaming bonfire, your Christmas pudding, and your smoked salmon. So let me just save those and bring them to the screen. Awesome happenings at Quinta dos Três Rios, the farm of the three rivers. Absolutely beautiful slices of life here that I'm going to share with you. How about this for 2026? Living a life as interesting, fascinating, and awesome as Hugh and Jane live at Quinta dos Três Rios. So here are just three pictures that sum that up for me. First of which is, I bet Jane made this Christmas pud, right? Looks beautiful. Fantastic. Did you have brandy butter on that, Hugh? I wonder. There is Hugh's own salmon smoker right there. That's fantastic. I bet that is delicious. And actually, I don't know what you think of it, but I found a brand of Portuguese smoked salmon whilst I was in the Algarve. It is called, let me see if I can find that, just scrolling back, Hardy. Have you come across the Hardy smoked salmon brand, which is nice, isn't it? I was going to say for a special occasion. Always nice to have smoked salmon on a special occasion, but it wasn't terribly overpriced or extremely expensive. And you did come to mind actually, Hugh, with this, and I wondered if you or any of the Gumpers here have come across this beautiful brand, which I found in Apollonia, not the cheapest store, it has to be said. And if I may put this alongside your smoked salmon picks there, this is the brand, the Hardy brand. I'll just take that little block off the screen there so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, Hardy smoked masterpiece salmon or masterpieces. Is that I need to take that off the screen as well so I can read actually what I've posted here. Masterpieces, smoked masterpieces, hand sliced salmon there, the Hardy brand, produced in Portugal, presumably smoked in Portugal. I wouldn't have thought they farmed or caught the salmon in Portugal, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong about that. More coming in about Long Johns, but not until we've looked at this final picture of life at Quinta dos Três Rios. Hugh, what are you doing? Unless that is some sort of boy racer touch you've added to your Lamborghini tractor, or was it a John Deere you've got there, or a Massey Ferg? That's not coming out of your exhaust, is it? That's you chucking more stuff on the bonfire, I'm guessing. You're awesome, Hugh, quite frankly, and all the best to you for a speedy recovery with the hip operation. I bet you can't wait to be back on the farm. Good advice then. Long John's on from November the 1st till the end of March. Who gave you that advice in your family? Was it some remarkable legend from your family who gave you that piece of life advice there, Hugh? Decathlon Merino wool keeps us riding all winter. They're indispensable. Okay, so good to know. Decathlon Merino wool products there as well, and Decathlon is incredibly well priced. I think they've got stores all over the world. It's a French brand, isn't it? But they've expanded. They're like the IKEA of the leisure world in many ways with their global expansion there, and nice stores to use and visit, I would say, all over Portugal. Make sure Long Johns, tights, etc. are made of natural fibers and breathe to keep your bits breathing. Some tights are toxic. I'll remember that next time I'm getting bestockinged with that, and let me bits breathe with some natural fibers. Excellent advice, the sort that we can be proud to share here on the New Portugal Club with its 50 plus life in Portugal orientation. More to follow on that. Our first foray into the life of a 50 plus talking about thermals. Expect more of that sort of thing. And I think I'm going to write a little bit more about this in the Portugal Resident this week, and the new orientation, and all the aspects of what we might need to consider, from the serious things. One shorthand for it, I was thinking, how do I summarize or keyword what I'm talking about? It's the pills, and thankfully, I'm not on any medications, but there comes a time, doesn't there, in your life where people seem to be getting a prescription. So there's the pills, there's the wills. That's another thing you start to think about if you haven't done it already, and your legacy and how you intend to grow and divide your estate, those sorts of things. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure all your affairs in order. We'll talk about all those sorts of things, but not just the pills, not just the wills, but the thrills also. How in the last lap, the third act, the second half, part two, whatever you want to call it, the golden years or the rusty era occasionally, how we're going to make the most of that and have the most fun in those years as well. So the thrills as well as the wills and the pills. Lord Travanca is here as well. Good evening to you. Hola, bonne nuit from Lord and Lady Travanca and BMZ Travel. We'll see you soon, Barak. And I think we do have to change the name of your feature. We can't call it Barak's Beef anymore. And we're going to have to call it probably the chill pill, given the effect that Portugal seems to be having on you, which I'm delighted to see, incidentally. Buono Novo from you as well. Nice one. Igualmente, amigo. Okay, I think we'll leave it there for this evening. Do pop over to the Portugal Club. Membership is free if you go to the Portugal Club or simply GMP VIP. Some of my links to it are... and yet another one of these tech things where it says, oh, this link isn't safe. It's, as far as I'm aware, it is completely safe, but I'm not Google or one of the great big brolygarch websites where they've got all these things figured out and they're finding out various ways to exclude other people. That's probably the most secure link to go via, school.com, GMP-VIPs-1236. But the Portugal Club, GMP VIP, will get you over there. You can join free. And you can also support what we're doing there, what I'm doing there as well. And that will give you access to other levels of the club. And if you think you should have access to other levels of the club and you haven't, you just drop me a line and we'll get that fixed, because things do get tinkered with behind the scenes and mistakes are made from time to time. But you know where I am. Always happy to put them right. 913-590-303, or just let me know of a morning in the chat and we'll get that sorted out. And looking forward to Carl's coffin connoisseur reviews. Well, I don't think we'll be doing coffin reviews necessarily, because actually the choices are quite limited. I think you can have caskets, can't you? But I did go to a seminar a few weeks ago about the whole process of what happens with the disposal of bodies, and cremation and burials and so on. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to refer to my notes and do something a little bit more specific on that. But I think we'll stop short at coffin reviews. But we'll certainly let those of you who want to know, who might want something less than the alternative to the traditional mahogany casket with brass handles, with marble inlay that will only cost 50 grand or something. Some people want something very simple like cardboard or wicker. And I'm sure we can help people who want to find something a little bit different. We can help people with those and look at the options, because it's going to happen. And as somebody said to me recently, talking about it doesn't make it happen. Okay, I think it's useful, especially when you're in a foreign country, to know what you're up against, so that at least your relatives and loved ones don't have too many surprises when the inevitable happens. And what a positive and uplifting note that is to end on today. Please come back. It's not always going to be like that. But anyway, yeah, we do need to speak about these things from time to time. I'm going to leave you now with a remarkable display of fireworks from San Martino de Cork coffins. Yes. Although that's probably going to be quite expensive, isn't it? I wonder. Maybe a beach. What are they called? Those. You could do Algarve style on a recliner. What are they called? Beach. I can't remember what the beach chairs are called. The reclining beach chairs, you know what I'm talking about. Put cork coffin. You see, it gets the conversation started, addressing the taboos and so on. But that's an amazing idea, or at least a cork veneer, right, Donna? Great to see you here this evening. Of course, earlier in the day for you. Have a great year, everybody. Have a wonderful 2026, whatever it brings you. Let's be of support and inspiration and positivity to each other. How about that? We leave on that note, that we remain in service to each other, to cheer each other up, to support each other, to help each other out on this. Oh, stop it. I'm just trying to steer my way out of that cul-de-sac, the coffin cul-de-sac. But I don't know if there is or not, Jackie. But you may have just started one. This might be your first commission. If somebody wants that, please refer. If you either want a cork or a decorated coffin, I will send your messages on to Jackie with that. So, okay, let me say that one more time. No more coffin comments, please, for the time being, Peter. Let's remain of service and support to each other in 2026, which I do think will be a spicy one. I realized when I saw my Facebook what you said this time last year, it was exactly the same. But it was true, wasn't it? And I think we're in for maybe another notch on the piri piri chili scale. We're going to be going up from, I don't know, cayenne to something not Scotch bonnet yet, but something a little bit stronger than a little sprinkle of cayenne. You brought the subject up. All right, but I'm trying to stop talking about it now. It's fireworks for you. Okay, here's another option, isn't it? You can probably be